tonight on SCTV3. Learn more about how the International Center helps students study abroad and retain student visas.
Plus, see what students order from one of the staple food options on campus.
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Hello, and welcome to this evening's edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. I'm Tyler Semenich.
And I'm Liam Shannon. Thank you for joining us.
We start tonight here on Alden Street, taking a look at the Doggett International Center located on the top floor of the Flynn Campus Union here at Springfield College. The department assists students in many different ways, including those interested in studying abroad and securing student visas.
However, under the Trump administration and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, getting student visas have been much more challenging for those looking to study in the United States. SCTV3's River Mitchell spoke with Heather St. Germain, director of the International Center, to learn about the college's study abroad program and how the recent shift in student visas has been impacted.
Located on the third floor of the campus union, the Doggett International Center plays a vital role on the campus of Springfield College for a multitude of reasons. One of these being the study abroad program, allowing students to spend a semester learning in a faraway country.
I think the two most valuable reasons are the personal growth that comes from putting yourself outside your comfort zone. And that personal growth occurs during the program, but it also occurs after the program as students reflect on all the new things that they experience, the challenges that they overcome.
Springfield College has connections with schools in up to 30 different countries and many different cities. The process starts with figuring out where students want to go and then working through logistics to help them get set up.
Really listening to the student and also helping them to think through study abroad as an opportunity to live abroad for a semester versus the mindset of traveling abroad, because I think they're two different things. For many students, study abroad is the only potential opportunity they'll have to live in another country in their lives, and to receive the support of their home institution as well as the partner institution just makes it a lot more accessible to anyone, but particularly, college-age students.
The International Center also assists students from other countries to come to Springfield College. The department helps students attain F1 and J1 student visas, something that has been recently become more difficult due to efforts by the Trump administration.
It's been incredibly challenging. Thankfully, Springfield does have quite a diversified population of students from different countries that we pull from. So we haven't seen a marked decrease in the number of international students that we expected to arrive this past fall, with the exception that a lot of we were hoping to start a lot of partnership programs with partners in China, and those have needed to be tabled due to the challenges of the current administration and the geopolitical climate between the US and China. And I anticipate that we will continue to see an increase in decline in students receiving visas. There are already extended wait times. So I expect in the next few years that we will likely see a decline unless we, really shift our efforts to countries that have an easier experience getting visas, like Canadians, for example.
Spearheaded by Secretary of State Marco Rubio due to the national security concerns, these recent actions have concerned St. Germain about the future of international students attending Springfield College.
It concerns me right now. The value of international students is considerable in this country. Last year, I think the numbers were that $43 billion were attributed to international students coming to this country and the job creation that they precipitated. I hate to see the numbers decline, and I also it's disappointing also because I see the wonderful experience that international students have at Springfield, and how they just embrace the mission of the college and the community, and really dive in, head first.
If you have any questions about attaining a student visa or the study abroad program, you can reach out to the International Center at internationalcenter@springfieldcollege.edu. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm River Mitchell.
The Springfield College Community Dance Concert will have 3 showings inside the Fuller Arts Center this coming weekend. Featuring choreography by guest artist Yu Yin, the Springfield College Dance Club will be presenting one of its annual fall performances, featuring different members of the club and choreography designed by Springfield faculty. Because this event is part of the William Simpson Fine Arts Series, there will be a Q&A session with members of the club after Saturday's performance. Tickets cost $5 for students and $10 for general admission, with shows at 7:30 tomorrow and Saturday night, and 3 in the afternoon on Sunday.
The final touches are being put on preparations for Springfield College's annual winter concert. The concert is set for this coming Monday, December 8th at 7:30 in Marsh Memorial Chapel. It will feature a handful of winter-themed pieces from the Springfield College Band. After a mix of group and solo productions, the event will conclude with a combined performance of Christmas classic Feliz Navidad with the Springfield College Community Chorus. Band director and assistant professor of music Chris Gagney is excited to see a semester's worth of practice culminate in an entertaining and high-quality production.
A real sort of fun tradition at the college. I think it's one of the nights of the year where the whole community comes together and celebrates through music. I always look forward to that.
Admission to the concert is free, and the event is open to the Springfield College community.
Last night was December's round of bingo at Springfield College, and with the holiday season in full swing, students showed up full of festive cheer. One of the most anticipated events of the year, Holiday Bingo, took over the Flynn Campus Union. Students arrived in their most festive attire and gathered with friends to compete in 5 rounds. As always, the event was hosted by the Campus Activities Board and featured several top-tier prizes that were won in the form of a Yankee swap theme. The prizes were hidden in a box, and the winner would get to decide to either keep the box or trade it with another box based on their gut feeling. In the end, all the winners got to open their boxes and see their mystery prize. With only a few weeks left until break, the event was a perfect way to kick off the campus holiday festivities and ease students' minds from the stress of upcoming final exams. This was the final bingo event of 2025, but be sure to check out the CAB Instagram for more events coming up before the semester ends.
Last night, Springfield College held its annual Celebrity Barista event in the Campus Union. From 6 to 8, many familiar faces, including President Mary Beth Cooper, took on the challenge of making drinks, greeting customers, and bringing a little extra energy to the beverage line. All drinks were completely free to students. The goal was simple: build community, raise some smiles, and give students a chance to see campus leaders in a new light, one beverage at a time. The Celebrity Baristas series lives on and has become a staple for Alden Street.
The winter weather is officially here, with Springfield College being hit with its first snowfall of the season this past Tuesday. As snow accumulates and campus maintenance rolls out salt, shovels, and plows for the first time this year, it's crucial for student drivers to follow winter safety protocols. Proper precautions not only protect drivers, but also ensure the safety of pedestrians navigating icy sidewalks and crosswalks. To better understand how students can stay safe behind the wheel during the cold winter months, Springfield College Chief of Public Safety, Joe Tirabashi, shares his advice for those who have cars on campus.
Make sure that your car is cleaned off, that there's no obstruction to your view of backing up or your windshield. Those are important things for the winter. And just being safe, knowing that it might take you a little bit longer even walking around campus because of the icy and the cold conditions.
Those few simple steps can help keep everyone safe on the roads this winter.
There was a snowfall on campus for the first time since last winter, but are we getting any more snow in the foreseeable future? We turn it over to SCTV3's Liam Riley in Studio B with our local and national weather update. Liam?
Thanks, Liam. As we inch closer and closer to the winter season, temperatures have already started to drop, as tomorrow will have a high of 25 degrees and a low of 6 degrees. The weekend's weather features high 30s and cloudy skies. Although Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday are expected to be cloudy, snow is scattered throughout the day. Snow scattered throughout each day. Monday will see snow at midnight, Tuesday overnight, and Thursday throughout the afternoon. Wednesday is expected to see the most snow from 4 p.m. to midnight. To a national headline. On Tuesday, New England experienced its first snow of the season. While parts of Massachusetts and Vermont saw up to 8 inches, Connecticut and Rhode Island only received 5 inches of snow at most. Areas in Massachusetts such as the Berkshires and northern Worcester counties saw 6 to 12 inches, while Cape Cod saw mostly rain. Most of Springfield saw only 2.8 inches, but was enough for Springfield College to transition to remote classes. The first flakes of the day fell during early morning, eventually transitioning to sleet and ending at 8 in the evening. Students made the most of the snow day by challenging each other to snowball fights and sledding down hills. New England is expected to see snow again next week between Wednesday and Thursday night. Back to you, Liam, in Studio A.
When we come back, we have our weekly Q&A with a community director for Abby Appleton and Alumni Halls.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back. This is SCTV3 Weekly News. Interviews for new resident assistant applicants take place this weekend. I sat down with Community Director Ian Gracia to find out more about what qualities make a great RA.
Yeah, we really are looking for students who are trainable, have a little bit of knowledge about the RA role, but I just want to see that you have good morals, you got a good head on your neck, we just want to make sure that you have good characteristics and that you're creative, you're empathetic. It varies based on what building you're selected in, because of course we have first year buildings, mid-year buildings, senior buildings. So when it comes to an RA we really are looking for, especially me, I like to look for RAs who are willing to try to go and create the community, being a part of the community. Whether that's like knocking on doors and asking someone how their day was, or knowing someone had a test and checking in to be like, how was that math test, or how was organic chemistry, because obviously that's a rough class, and it's nice just to have someone who's willing to put in that extra step of, oh, let me check in with my student because I know that they had something going on today that either was exciting or hard, something along those lines. Yeah, so we have in August, we asked that first year RAs move in early. We bring them in a week early, and we ask different departments on campus and the community directors themselves to host trainings, whether that be on Title IX and conflict resolution, incident response, emergency protocols. We touched on community building, of course, creative aspects of the position, and usually what we'll do, I'm not specifically running RA training this year. Our graduate community director, Sadie Blackwell, is, who's our community director in Massasoit and Reed Halls. But she's asking different departments on campus to come on in and talk to the RAs and give advice, or what Springfield College traditions are like. So we kind of touch everywhere around campus, to be honest with you. But when I was an RA, and obviously now me being a community director, I think most of it is social aspect, because once you become an RA, at the same time, about 15 other students are also becoming an RA. instantly you have 15 new friends who are all going through the same experience and training alongside you. So the connection that grows with that, you on the RA staff are people who you're working with throughout the year. You instantly get a great connection with them. You get a great connection with everyone in housing and residence life. And then you may find that a couple students, you're like, you know what, it's great to talk to you, but like, I really like talking to you. So now you've acquired a couple new friends, you get some good leadership skills, a lot of teamwork. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of great benefits.
For students looking to become an RA, applications for spring 2026 and fall 2027 will open next fall.
Tonight, new developments out of Washington and overseas as top U.S. officials prepare for high-level talks in Moscow and questions grow over a controversial U.S. military strike in the Caribbean Sea. I have more on the diplomatic efforts and the scrutiny now facing the Pentagon.
President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, along with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, are scheduled to meet Tuesday with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow.
I think that there's a good chance we can make a deal.
The meeting comes as the president continues his push for a negotiated end to the conflict triggered by Russia's 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine. While those diplomatic efforts unfold, the administration is also boosting America's military security in the Caribbean, sending the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier to St. Thomas. The move coincides with mounting questions surrounding one of 21 U.S. strikes on suspected narco-terrorist drug boats. The Washington Post reports Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is accused of directing forces to kill everybody on board ahead of a September 2nd operation, an allegation that he strongly rejects.
There's a lack of clarity in what is a very significant military action.
We'll begin our oversight and get to the facts.
On Thursday, Navy Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley is identified by the White House as the commander who authorized the second strike, is expected to deliver a classified briefing to key congressional panels responsible for military oversight. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Tyler Semenich.
SCTV3 will continue to follow these developments as Congress prepares for its closed-door briefing later this week.
Today, just outside of Washington, D.C., a Northern Virginia man was arrested by the FBI. Attorney General Pam Bondi identified the suspect as Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old from Woodbridge, Virginia. Authorities say Cole planted 2 pipe bombs outside the Democratic National Committee and Republican National Committee headquarters on the eve of the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. Although the bombs did not detonate, investigators say they were designed to be fatal. Bondi broke the news in a press conference earlier today.
As you all know now, early this morning, Brian Cole Jr. was arrested and charged with placing the pipe bombs at the RNC and the DNC on January 5th, 2021.
The case took over 4 years to crack, and more information regarding the arrest will come soon.
2 members of the National Guard were shot during a routine patrol the night before Thanksgiving outside of a Washington, D.C. metro station. SCTV3's Emma Bynes has more.
On the night before Thanksgiving, 2 National Guard members on a routine patrol outside a Washington, D.C. metro station were shot. Special Forces Sarah Beckstrom, who was just 20 years old, passed away due to her wounds on Thanksgiving morning. Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf is still hospitalized and in critical condition at the time of this recording. Ramanala Lockenwall was arrested immediately after the shooting just a block from the White House. Lockenwall worked for a CIA counterterrorism group in Afghanistan, but moved to the United States in 2021 as part of former President Biden's Operation Allies Welcome, a program that helped Afghan nationals resettle after U.S. military withdrawal. The Trump administration even granted him asylum in April of this year. Here's what President Trump had to say about the shooting.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity.
Lockenwall, who is also in critical condition himself, will be charged with murder and may even face the death penalty, according to U.S. officials. The administration has paused all visa issues for Afghan nationals and asylum-related cases. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Emma Bynes.
President Trump swiftly responded against Afghans in the United States, pausing all asylum decisions and halting visas.
After the break, SCTV3's River Mitchell has you covered with SCTV3 Sports Extra.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. I'm River Mitchell. The Springfield College women's basketball team defeated Worcester State last night with a final score of 75-50. Springfield started off the game on an 8-0 run thanks to a hot start from senior Amanda Leary, and after the first quarter, the Pride were up 23-6. Carrie Hess contributed a career-best 20 points in the win and proved to be a dominant force up front. Leary totaled 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals in the blowout. SCTV3's Emma Bynes attended the game and has more.
I'm here inside Blake Arena where the Springfield College women's basketball team defeated Worcester State 75-50. Carrie Hess dropped 20 points while Amanda Leary added 18 and 6. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Emma Bynes.
Women's basketball returns home on Monday against Trinity at 7 in its final game before winter break. We now take a look at the Pride's upcoming sports schedules for the home games. Starting us off is women's track and field starting its season opener in the Fieldhouse. Women's basketball picked up a big win last night and a 2-game losing skid. The Pride hope to continue the momentum as it takes on Trinity. And capping off the short week is men's basketball welcoming New Mac Foe Coast Guard to Blake Arena Wednesday night. Turning the page to the student athletes leaving campus, wrestling looks to continue its strong start as it travels to Pennsylvania for the Messiah Petrophes Invitational. Taking place tomorrow and Saturday, the Pride have finished inside the top 5 in every invitational so far this season. Men's and women's swimming and diving don't have to travel too far, competing in the Gampé Invitational at WPI in Worcester. And finally, women's basketball taking on LaSalle tomorrow night. If you would like any additional information regarding Springfield athletics, head to springfieldcollegepride.com. If you walked into the Central Sitting boxing gym, chances are you'd find Springfield College senior Nate Pena training for his next boxing match. Pena's boxing career started just a little over a year ago, and Springfield College's philosophy has helped him become the person he is today. SCTV3's Lanaya Delgado went down to Central City Boxing Gym to talk with Pena about his upcoming debut.
Came in kind of just, wanting to test the waters and see if I like boxing.
Nathaniel Pena is a senior at Springfield College who is majoring in exercise science. In his free time, Nathaniel is an amateur boxer and trains at the Universal Training Academy here in Springfield, Massachusetts. He has been boxing for a year and a half.
The main thing I love about boxing is kind of like a game of chess. A lot of people see, the punches and the knockouts and stuff, but boxing is very technical, and there's a lot of little pieces that go into play, and it's an aggressive game of chess.
He recently qualified for the National Boxing Championship after winning the New England Regional Boxing Championship. He will be going to Lubbock, Texas to box against other amateurs across the country to fight for the national championship. Nathaniel's trainer, Michael Rodriguez, shares how he feels about Nathaniel's success so far as an amateur boxer.
I think he's done a lot of hard work to get there, and everything he's done for the past 2 years, this shows that, you know, it all pays off. A lot more work to do, but this is a big step for him for sure.
And Panina practices the humanics taught at Springfield College in his boxing as well.
Main takeaway that I've learned from Springfield College, and not just as an exercise science student, but just our whole, humanics philosophy of spirit, mind, and body, I think is something that every student at Springfield should take into their life. Just being able to balance training, my mental health as well, and then also, I'm a very big person in spirituality, so just putting those three together and living my daily life with those three things in the back of my mind. So.
Nathan is expected to fly down to Texas next Friday for the tournament that's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be a round by round, so basically he fights one person, advances to the next round, and so on and so forth. If you want to watch his fights, they'll be live streaming on YouTube. With SCTV3, I'm Lanaya Delgado.
This week's athlete interview features Oliver Parker. The junior wrestler is having a tremendous start to the season and is coming off a win in the recent Doug Parker Invitational in the 197-pound division. I sat down with Parker to talk about his preparation for the season and his keys to making weight. Another edition here of our Athlete of the Week interview. I'm here with Oliver Parker on the men's wrestling team. Oliver, I know that wrestling is, a sport that is very, very physical. I'm just curious what it is about that physicality aspect of it that you love so much.
I just like, it's just you and another person, so you just got to make it happen. There's no one else to save you out there, so it's just you and another person.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have to make weight, right, what's typically the weight class that you try to come in at, and also what are some techniques that you have to make weight when you have a match?
So in the past, I've cut a lot of weight, but I actually stopped cutting weight this year, so I walk around like 195, 200 pounds, and I wrestle 197. So that allows me I just focus on wrestling. I don't really have to worry about losing weight as much, and I feel like that's helped me get better.
And you've shined as an upperclassman this year, so I'm just curious, what does it mean to you to be a leader to some of the underclassmen on the team and someone that they can look up to as well?
It's pretty cool because I remember when I was a freshman, we had guys like Gianni and Jared Schwartz, and I looked up to them, and it's cool that now I'm able to do that for other people.
And I'm also curious, what's your routine like when you're coming into a meet? Like, how do you get yourself locked in before a match? Do you listen to music? Do you spend some time by yourself in a quiet room? What helps you get into that mode?
I try not to listen to any music, so I just take in the sounds of the tournament, all the crowd noise, so I'm ready for that when I wrestle. And then I say a quick prayer, and I just focus. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to wrestle, and I just focus on having fun, letting it fly, not worrying about winning or losing.
And last question, I know right now you have the buzz cut. Last year you had the mullet. I'm just curious if you have any sort of superstition when it comes to your hairstyle and the wrestling, and if not, do you have any other wrestling-specific superstitions as well?
No, I just was I got to lock in, so I just shaved my head. And superstitions, I guess just actually I get Moe's. I'm about to go get Moe's because we leave tomorrow, so I usually get Moe's before we wrestle.
That's awesome. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Athlete of the Week interview. Oliver, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Parker and the Springfield College wrestling team hit the mats tomorrow for the Messiah Petrofes Invitational. That will do it for this week's edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. Stick around after the break to see what students' go-to orders are from one of the staple food spots on campus.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
At Springfield College, the Dunkin' in the Union is a hotspot for students. SCTV3's Kyle Valentine set out to find the students' go-to order, as well as what they would like to see added to the menu.
Dunkin' Donuts is a staple in the Northeast, and here at Springfield College, there's no exception. We have one right here in the Union, and let's see what people get. What is your go-to Dunkin' order?
I get a medium iced coffee with caramel swirl, liquid sugar, oat milk, and sweet cold foam, and sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant.
Probably a plain bagel with cream cheese, and then right now I like the white chocolate iced coffee with cream and liquid sugar.
Bacon, egg, and cheese, a plain bagel with hash browns, and iced coffee.
Iced coffee, hazelnut, cream and sugar, sauce and cheese, no egg.
My go-to order at Dunkin's got to be a bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel with hash browns, but you got to put the hash browns on the bacon, egg, and cheese, and then just a black iced coffee.
I'm going sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, and then I'm going medium iced coffee with cream and sugar.
Everything bagel, cream cheese, maybe a strawberry frosted donut, mango refresher.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin with hash browns and a black coffee.
An iced green tea.
Cold brew with caramel swirl. Macchiato, an iced macchiato, and the sausage, egg, and cheese on sourdough.
If you were to add an item to the menu, what would it be?
A Wawa bacon, egg, and cheese.
Like some type of like Gatorade type of drink. A Rudolph donut with like a red munchkin in the middle.
French toast sticks, maybe.
Churro sticks.
I'm going like a 50-count bucket of munchkins.
I really like my lattes and macchiatos with less milk, kind of like a cortado, so I'd say that.
Maybe just adding avocado to the breakfast sandwiches, like as they come with.
Is it Dunkin' or Dunkin' Donuts?
I go with Dunkin'.
It's Dunkin' Donuts, always has been. Dunkin'.
Dunkin'.
Dunkin' now.
Dunkin'.
Dunkin'.
Dunkin' Donuts, just Dunkin'.
Reporting from snowy Springfield College, I'm Kyle Valentine.
That will do it for this edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. Thank you for tuning in.
Make sure to check out SCTV3 on all social media platforms, as well as YouTube, where you can find every archive show. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week for our final edition of the semester. Same time,
same place.